Good evening, fellow punters. Mickey D back with you about 7:15 on, what, Tuesday is it? You get mithered when you're studying horses all the time. Tuesday evening about 7:15 with a few for tomorrow. After another good enough day, we had a faller, a non-runner and a winner. A mixed bag you'd call that, or a spice bag or whatever you call them. Cool Survivor tipped him up at 11-4. He was out to 3-1 last night. I was getting worried. 2 gambling yards and 2 big gambles going on, but there must be bookies gambles because they drifted today and they didn't run well at all. Tony Mullins and Charles Burns. But I thought our lad done pretty well. Heap of money from today. The Ryanair money was on. And I thought he jumped pretty well. He pinged the first 2 to get into a good position, and as being a former point-to-point winner, he wasn't going to be caught for toe. And he jumped adequately, I thought, and he won snug enough. So another winning video. And I see there was a couple of winners put up there as well. Sean Mullen put up one in Weatherby, was it? And there was one late last night as well. Forgive me, I didn't write down the name of it, and the memory isn't the best when I don't do such things. But Christina's back in the frame again. Fair play to you, Christina. Now, I know you don't mean any harm, or any hurt, or any pain, or any suffering or anything, but just leave her be. I know it myself with a long-term illness that we don't look for pity or sympathy or anything like that, just a bit of understanding. That's all I say. And just leave her alone. She'll do her own thing. And she gets a bit, you know, if she sees questions asked or whatever, don't bother her. Leave her alone. Leave her at the front of the bus there behind me and she'll be all right. And we'll mind her. Good girl, Christina. Anyway, I have a heap of stuff for tomorrow. The first thing is, we have the first couple that got married on the bus. David Kineen in Galway and his lovely wife, Cleona. 2 hurting chokers. They're both from Galway. That's what we call them in a good way. They call us sheep stealers, or in some cases sheep shaggers. And we call the Leitrim people around here, we call them a snipe would have to wear Wellingtons. And we call the Mayo people, sure, God help us. And I forget what we call the Sligo people. But it's all said in good jest and just a bit of crack, bit of banter. So congratulations to both of them, and a long life of happiness and health and wealth, and a nice family maybe that you'll be able to bring racing in time. And we might bump into you in Ballybrit sometime. So on to tomorrow. I have a few that I sort of fancy if the going stays as it's supposed to be, if it's going to be soft in Nottingham, and I have 2 that I like. And the first one is I'm putting up is the top of the sheet here is in Kempton, and this is surface related as well. Out from Under was a nice winner for us in August, over 7 furlongs, and he made all in front that evening. And then just put him in the last time in Newcastle, different surface, and Frankie was on him. Frankie wasn't too busy on him. He ran that 7 furlongs at a fast time as well, and the horses that was second was Wild Line, Flame of Freedom was third, and Spanish Star was third, and Flame of Freedom was second. Second, third, and fourth. They all have won since. And the horse that was 5th, Total Commitment, is up against us tomorrow night, so we shouldn't be afraid of him. He's 2-1 favourite, 2.5 points win. If Harry Davis takes the ride again, and he was on him when he won before, and if he just gets the sections right, I think he'll be hard beaten tomorrow night. Some of them is going to, who's going racing tomorrow? Is it Paul Manton? He was looking for, I went through Weatherby, and there's a 340 at Weatherby, is a 5-foot runner, 5-runner affair. The ages of these horses running tomorrow is, one is 13, one is 9, one is 6, one is 8, and one is 11. The 6-year-old is Hillview, and it has won a good few races this year. It has won 4 of 6 this year. Of 96, 101, 108 and 123. It's now 128. It hasn't ran for a few months, so it may need the run. So I'm going for, to try and help him get a few pounds tomorrow, Teescomponents Lad. It's a 9-year-old. But was second in this last year, and it has a run recently. It was a staying on sort of 4th. Now, it was lackadaisical and clumsy in some of his hurdle jumping until it's sort of got into, it needs to be bustled and huttled along, like, you know. So I'm hoping that there's £5 off as well. Tom Midgley is on him. So he's only £1 higher than he was when he was second in this last year. Now, I'll kill myself if, and I won't kill myself, but I'll be disappointed myself for not picking Hillview Lad because he's the youngest. But we can't be ageist at my age, so we're going for the 9-year-old. The 3:30 at Nottingham is a Class 3 Mile 2, 9 declared. Now, the soft ground is forecast for this. 6 of the last 8 winners of this race was a 3-year-old, and 4 out of 9 tomorrow are 3-year-olds. The top weight is Mr Alan. It's out of Ulysses, and they like cut on the ground. As trained by George Bowie, and Andre Anzini is riding. Anzini is 1 for 2 for that year this year. He doesn't ride too often for him. It was second. It only ran twice last year, and it went on a second run last year in Ayr, and it was good to soft in late September. 6 runs this year, but some of them were highly tried because he ran in the King George Handicap in Royal Ascot, and it was good to Ferrum ground. And then he ran in the Melrose in York, a mile 6, good to Ferrum. And the last run, it was in Ayr. He was only beaten the nose. Should have won it. Clifford Lee didn't give him the best to rise. He should have asked him to get head for home sooner. He's up £2 for that, and he was gambled on the last race from 20s into 12s. That was a Class 2 race. This is a Class 3. He's a big horse. He can carry the weight. He's like a young buck that would be in the bog years ago, that would be a good strong gosling, that you'd always fill the bag of turf when he'd be going out. You wouldn't be giving him a half bag. You'd be giving him a half bag to the smaller lad. This fella would be able to carry the full bag of turf, I'll tell you. So that race the last time was in the Kilkerran Cup. This is a drop in class. I think he's a 4-1 shot, 2 points win. The 4:40 at Nottingham as well. This is a ground-related pick. Fast Response. He's out of Fast Company. And you know what I think is a Fast Company? They needed Hawk Deep. A couple of runs back, I tipped him up at Southall. Didn't like the ground at all that day. But he ran way better in Redcar the last day. That day was in Gordon Park. I looked at it before I left the Blue Bookies. But he was drawn on the wrong side. Now, that was good to soft. But if it's soft, it'll suit him better. And a point win on him. And then the 4:30 is the big race tomorrow in Ireland. Galvin is out. And his pipe opener probably for the Nicholson chase in Down Royal. But Run Wild Fred is second favourite. But a horse that done us a good turn in Galway is Politesse. It's a nature-old filly or mare. And it's a half-brother to Don Poley. There was a good staying chaser. That race was over 2.7 and it was staying on really well up the hill. Tomorrow's is 3 mile. And I thought that at 6-1, whatever the betting is, possibly without the favourite, or a placed bet, I think it's only 7 in the race. Run Wild Fred, the last twice it ran was in the both Irish and English Grand Nationals, and it fell both times. There's a great race tomorrow at the 4:25 at Wolverhampton. I'll try and put up a selection for that later. There's 3 in it that I tipped up before. Country Pyle, who'll be a brother to Pyle driver, Buxted Reel, and then I had Night Sparkle chipped up there about 2 weeks ago and it didn't run. I'll look at that again tonight because I got delayed in the last half an hour to get a selection. And one other thing that we might do, the Breeders' Cup is coming up in a few weeks, and there's the turf sprint. Highfield Princess, the English horse from Queen Yard, is going over and is 2-1, and also is 2-1 is Golden Pal. Golden Pal, we know it definitely will be running, is barned in the, or is in the barn there already. Had a great run in pipe opener the other night, a prep run, and both of them are 2-1. If we backed Golden Pal, as I have done already at 2-1, we know that's going to get there. The other one, we don't know what's going to happen with shipping arrangements and boats and whatever, and how it'll react on the track or whatever. You can always lay off some of that bet closer to the day. I'm nearly 10 minutes rattling on. Happy stuff there. It's nearly 8 o'clock before this is up, I'd say. Bash the bookies. Over and out.